All right. So the second thing I'm going to talk about is a Q&A, and a very important one here that I want to touch real quick on this. And it's from my homegirl, Dominica. And she asked something about the ads. A really good question. She's running ads, Facebook ads, and basically what kind of criteria we look for the numbers. And I talk about this briefly on some of the classes because we don't touch on ads a lot, which we are going to start doing a lot more. We mainly do a lot of Etsy, but I just briefly put some of the stuff here. So I want to cover this here real quick so we can, just so she could get an understanding. Also, some of you guys who are doing Facebook ads as well. Okay. So real quick in the Facebook, where's it at? Is it right here? I think it's right here. The funnel setup. All right. I got to add the school funnel setup to this as well, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to add it on the other one. Well, I'm going to add it on both here and there, but this funnel setup is basically, how to set up the funnels. And I'll talk, which is this here. The funnel setup is this, right? What you see here, amount spent, the budget, impressions. That's what a funnel is. So there's two of them. There's one for school, and then there's one that we typically use for everything else, normal stuff, like I call it, right? But right now, this will help you understand what I'll be talking about if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to show you how to set them up. I'm just going to show you the difference between the two. But this will cover something, some stuff, the funnel setup, the full funnel setup. That's the one that we basically talk about here. And when when you guys give me your ad reviews, set it up this way. That way I could just instantly, I'll be able to tell what it is, but it'll be easier for me to just read it real quick and give you a quick answer. All right. Or a detailed answer, I should say. So let's go real quick, right? So for school, school doesn't have an add to cart. They don't have a checkout. It's just you go to the landing page and you buy. That's it, which it should be the main, a checkout is where you enter your information. That is the checkout. I don't know why they don't classify it as checkout. It doesn't calculate it at all, right? But the beginnings are pretty much the same thing, right? You've got the funnel, which is the budget. Let me show you the budget here. Usually I look at it on the ad set level, not on a campaign level, unless I'm looking at it from bird's eye view. But you got the budget, then you got the amount spent for that day, the budget remaining. It says 0 here. It's I don't know why it says 0, but it's not at 0. And then right here, impressions. You got that, and then you got the CPMs, which is cost per mile, CTR, which is click-through rate, CTR links clicks. This click-through rate, but with the actual links. The difference between the two is CTR all is links, clicks, likes, shares, comments, all that. All right. Then you got the actual links click, CPC, which is cost per click. Then you got the purchases, right? So the left side, which we divide this in two sides, left side and right side. The left side is from CPC onto the left. That's all Facebook. You tell Facebook, hey, here's what I want, go find me the peoples. And then it's their job to find people, bring them to your ad creative. And then the actions that they take there on that ad, that's what gives you all that. Now, when Facebook's done with their job and they click, they go to your website. That's the right side. We're in charge of that part, even though we're in charge of the whole thing, but we're in charge of that part. Now over there, it'll be even easier to optimize once they get there, because if the numbers on the left look good, but the numbers on the right look horrible, then we know by process of elimination that the right side is the one that needs optimization. But if the left side looks horrible, right, and very few clicks over to the right side, no purchases, no nothing, then we know we got to optimize the left side first. It's like, which one do we optimize first, right? And then you can see here for school, since it doesn't have any purchases or add to carts or checkouts, we eliminate that part of the columns of the funnel, and we just go straight to purchase, then cost per purchase, which is how much you're paying per purchase, and then purchase conversions is how much you made for that conversion, and then the ROAS is It stands for return on ad spend. So for every dollar you spend, right, you get $1 back, right? So in this case, I have a 5.86 ROAS. That means for every dollar I spent, I'm making back $5.86, right, in return. So you understand that? The return on ad spend, okay? So that's what that means. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I don't want to take a look at this one. I want to do another one, which is, more of what we typically do here. Let me go ahead and turn off share screen, turn it back on, window screen. Oh my God, let me see. There we go. All right. So we're going to do this one here because this one has the full funnel, which is what we typically do for like a Shopify store, anything that actually has an add to cart and checkouts. So the left side is the same thing, right? The difference is when you get to the right side. Now we got add to carts, cost per add to carts, checkouts, cost per checkouts, and then we got purchases and all that good stuff. Okay. So I'm going to tell you my criteria is what I look for. And this will help you a lot, especially in the first 3 days. Now, these ads, they're what's called a feeder program and also a coasting, program, which means a feeder program is just the cold traffic, the original traffic. The cold traffic feeds the retargeting. So what a feeder program is, and I explained this in another one, I don't want to go into detail on this, but a feeder program is just you get cold traffic. All you're doing is trying to get those clickers, those people who are interested, and then you feed them into the retargeting. So the retargeting is the one that makes the majority of the sales, right? So let's go here for today here. All right. So we're going to go in here and look at this and see how it looks like, right? What do we look for, right? So we do the 155 method, which is $1.55, right? And then the I'm going ahead of myself. Coasting. I forgot to explain what coasting is. Coasting is that once a campaign has plateaued, you just basically let it do its thing. All I do here is create cold traffic and let it run in through the retargeting. Retargeting makes sales. Okay? That's what coasting is. It reached a plateau. There's really no more you can do, but you want it to continue making sales because you'll make sales on the back end, right? And you want to keep that pixel and the merchant and everything hot. The ad account, you want to keep it warm and hot. So when you do get another product that you're introducing, it's not a surprise to them that you just went from 0 to whatever. Okay? It's steadily going. There's no issues with this one. Very hot. This is the ad account and pixel. You're just feeding the pixel, the algorithm with information every single day. All right, so let's get going, guys. So we got this here, right? We got the budget, we got the campaign at the ad set at $1.50 or $1.55, right? And all we're looking for out of that 155 for the impressions is anything over 250 impressions. I'll take 100. If it's less than 100, then I'm already asking questions, like, especially in the first 3 days. What's up, Suri? How you doing? The first 3 days, you want to monitor this, right? So you want the impressions to be at least minimum over 100 impressions for that 155. If you could get 250 or more, better. CPMs is the cost per mile, cost per 1,000 impressions. Man, I'm getting all ronco. So basically, right here says $5.24. By the time this reaches 1,000 impressions, it's an estimation of how much I'm going to spend per 1,000 impression. Another term you'll hear is cost per mile, right? So, excuse me, guys. I don't know what's going on. I got a frog. So you want this to typically be less than $20. Okay. For digitals, I prefer $10, right? But I'll take $20 or less. All right. That's my criteria. 100, minimum 100 to 250 or more on impressions. Less than 20 on CPM. CTRs. We got two CTRs, CTR all and CTR links. CTR all is everything. Likes, hearts, comments, shares, actual clicks on the links. And then the other one is just the link. It's counting only the clicks on the actual links or on the button. I want above 1% on that. Okay. Now on CTRL, my criteria is 2%. I'll take 1%, but why 2%? Because it's including everything. Sometimes you'll just get likes. That's it. Right? But no clicks. Right? So 1% of that is not going to do me any good. Okay? At least 2% is going to give me some good engagement or more. All right? Now, CTRs will definitely take a 1% and above. CTR links click is people actually clicking on the call to action button or on the link that you place in the actual, in the description. Okay? So you could see here, I got 9, like nearly double, right? And that's what I want. 52% on here and almost 5% there. So 10 and 5. Amazing. That's what I want. Okay? So, but typically 1% and above is what you want. All right? Again, once you learn the numbers and you really get the feel for this, you'll create your own criterias. Okay? Links, I don't really count the links clicks. I want to see how many I get. Because when numbers are low, it usually because these are low, whatever, or maybe I'll have like 3,000 impressions, right, with only 4 clicks, and that just drives the numbers haywire. The click-through rates and all that stuff, it looks ugly. You'll see it. All right, I don't really look at that, but it's good to know how many clicks you're getting. CPCs I actually look at more. So cost per click, how much you're spending per click. That one I want it to be less than $1. Again, my criterias are less than 50 cents, but I'll take $1 or less. If it's hovering around the dollar mark, 80 cents $1, I'm going to be eyeballing that like crazy, right? But I want it less than $1. All right, now we're heading to the right side. Left side, Facebook done his job. We told them, hey, get these people. I want these guys. Bring them to my ads. They're bringing them. They're taking action. They're liking my stuff. They're clicking, right? They're going to my website. Now it's my job here where I'm optimizing. So add to carts, I definitely want to see how many add to carts I'm getting. The cost per add to cart, that needs to be $5 or below. Okay? Again, my criteria for the product that I'm selling, right? I want it to be at $2.50 or less, right? But I'll take $5 or less. I'm well below $5 there because I only spent 40 cents, 44 cents so far. So that's good, right? And you'll typically won't get more than $5 because you're spending $1.55 per ad set. The checkouts, that typically I want it to be less than $10. Why? Because you'll usually get a 50% difference between the two. You'll typically get, like, let's say out of 5 add to carts, right? Or 10 add to carts, I should say, you'll get 5 checkouts. That's like the average norm. You'll get somewhere between 40 and 60% difference, right? So on average, this is 50%. So it's okay if you've got, 10 add to carts and only like 4 to 6 checkouts, okay? That's typical. It is completely normal. So add to carts is $5 or less. Checkout is $10 or less, okay? Now purchases, again, I don't look at those much. It's just like clicks. It's just an action. What I'm looking for, really what I'm looking for and what you're looking for out of this whole funnel system is what you're paying for the customer, right? So what is my cost per purchase? How much am I paying for that customer? So right now, if this person were to buy, right now with these stats, I mean, let me go ahead and refresh it to see if it did, because I know I got a sale today on that one. It's not counting it, but if that person were to call right now, these simple numbers, simple as it is, my cost per purchase would be 49 cents. It cost me 49 cents to acquire that customer. Another term is a customer acquisition cost, right? Purchase conversion value is how much you made in total. So if you got 2-3 sales, it'll tell you there. And then the ROAS would be, again, is your return on ad spend, how much you made, compared to what you spent. And that you want it to be above 1.0. So again, every dollar you spent, you want to make $1 back. That's break-even point. Okay? So anything over that, you're making. So let's say $1, you spent $1 and you made $3.50. Your ROAS should be 2.5 because you're making 2.5 back. right? For every dollar you spend, right? And then the cost per purchase, that really depends on the price of your product, okay? Where you should be at. That's if your product costs $5, you want it to be, especially for digitals, because there's no cost of goods, right? But typically you want it to be at least 50% the cost because you're paying for the ads. So if a $5 product, I spent $1.50, that's roughly what? Let's just call it $2 for easy numbers. That's covering my cost, right? For that, and then I'm making some money back. Now it changes when you're doing the actual tangible products like print on demand, drop shipping, because now you got to include that, right? Now you got to make a lot less than that, right? So it all depends how much you're spending, but look at the ROAS because that will guide you the right way. All right, I want to take a look at some examples here that we got here. Here's yesterday. So you'll see yesterday's number. We spent a total of 184. The impressions were hovering around 400. That's really good. Again, this is a really optimized campaign. It's old. June 12th is when I launched that. So it's going to have a little bit more than the normal. It's kind of averaged out to what it's going to be like every day, right? 409 impressions. The cost per CPM is less than $20, so it's less than $10. My criteria. CTRs both doing beautiful. CTRs are higher here, and then CTR links are just right there. So again, like I told you, I want it to be 2%, and then on CTR all, and then 1% on CTR. Those numbers are true all the way up. Okay, so CTR all is at 8%. The other one is at 5%. So it's still lower, but you could see where I wanted at the differentiate, right? So that's still looking good. People are really liking that ad campaign or creative. The CPC, 8 cents. 8 cents, ridiculous. I don't even have to look at the amount of clicks. I already could tell, but with the amount I spent, that's around 20 or so, right? And that's 22. I didn't cheat, guys. I literally just skip over that and go right to the CPC. Okay, so right there, my left side is doing really good. I'm going to the right side. I got 4 add to carts. You can see I'm 46 cents on average, right? And then 6 checkouts. You can see here, you actually got more. Maybe someone came back again. It's cookied, right? 31 cents, and I got one purchase, 184 cost, right? I spent 184. It cost me 184 to acquire that one. And then the purchase conversion is 375, and the purchase ROAS is 2.4. So for every dollar I spent, I made $2.04 back. Okay. So that's pretty much it here. I spent it's 12:30, and I wanted to do a really in-depth call on research. Let's go ahead and start the research. One more thing I will touch, you want to follow this for the first 3 days. All right. The first 3 days is very important, right? With your split test. Day 1, all you're looking for is action. You're looking for your creatives to perform, the left side to look good. Okay. And then on the right side, if you get add to carts, if you get checkouts, fine. That's just, that's just a bonus. And if you get a purchase on day 1, that's icing on the cake, right? But on the left side, all I'm looking for on day 1 is that it performs good. On day 2, I definitely want some add to carts, okay? If I get a purchase, again, it would be good. But on day 3, I want it all, right? We could dive into that more because it goes into that more. But those are the criteria that you follow with that. On day 2, a lot of times I'll shut off ads. I'll shut it off because it's just not performing good at all, right? Nothing. The day 1, it just was not doing good. It was just okay. Day 2, no add to carts at all. By midday, why spend the whole money? Save it. Look what happened. Analyze the stuff. You know what I mean? And then go back, right? In the Shopify or in the Facebook ads guide, I actually got all that thing where from day 1, day 2, day 3. So go into that thing here. In fact, let me show you here real quick before we move on, right? Going to here, where's the guide at? The guide, it's all right here on the FB ad guide. Step 1, full 90 review your ads. Where's it at? It's somewhere in here. I think it's on a full day. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Yeah, it has to be on all this here. Review your ads. Launch and create and lookalike. Monitor the campaign. Here it goes. Monitoring the campaign. So you got day 1, day 2, right? I go through every day and what I do and what I did, right? And what to look for. So go through that, because that's literally what I've been following for years. All right. Doesn't matter how Facebook changes. The numbers are numbers.